Recently, I wrote a book called Divining Truth, Straight Talk from Source, the story. And today I'm going to read you some of the excerpts that I have picked out. It was hard to pick out ones that I would say were my favorites because they're not really my favorites, but I wanted to pick out something that would apply to everybody. So I picked out 8 different excerpts and I'm going to read them to you today. And if it sort of tantalizes you, you can definitely go to the website that is in the description box below this video and purchase a copy for your own enjoyment. So let's take a journey together. The first excerpt that I chose, well, I wanted to sort of like lay a foundation for us, is on being here, Earth. And remember, in the book, it's the I am, it is Source, it is the Absolute speaking to you in the first person. So the question is on being here. It's a question and an answer sequence. There's 75 in the book. Every human being experiences a sense of contention and resistance to being in a plane that feels like separation. The desire to remember what you are within me is more than a yearning. It feels much more like an unfulfilled drive that you have no hope of achieving. From the moment the physical body slides out of the birth canal, the very first physiological impression is loss and separation. Impression number 2 is survival through alerting everyone in the room that separation and fear are being experienced. It will never feel the same way within form as it feels out of form, no matter which dimension you decide to incarnate within as me. Security will not be as secure, safety as safe. The womb's protective fluid shell is gone, never to return. In its place is the possibility of freedom once you get used to having a body to use within this very short experience of duality. You chose it. You said, "Give me a human body, and I'll go to Earth and create magnificent experiences." And here you are in Earth. So, welcome to Earth. Okay, on surrendering to life. That's a big one, isn't it? Your mind seizes every opportunity it can possibly grab to convince you that if you do this or you do that, you will be in a state of bliss, harmony, and love. It gives you exercises to do. It makes sure you put them on your calendar and watches over your progress day by day. Even the practice of observing your progression is part of ensuring that you complete what you have what you have devised as your plan of surrender to your I am. The mind believes it is control. The mind believes it has control. When I slipped up and said desire instead of devise there, I found that it's very interesting because nothing happens by accident, as we know. So it's about what you believe you're desiring rather than surrendering to what you know within your heart is where you wish to surrender. Meanwhile, your soul simply keeps recording all of the experiences you are having. Your heart continually prompts you to slow down and live your life without need of practice or belief. And I am remains your constant, surrendered state. The inclusion of this particular memory is not outside of you. Fundamentally, it is what you are as I am. Surrendering means to give up. Can you give up what you believe you need to do to surrender? Can you give up the idea of giving up? Will you acknowledge your surrender within me? That's a beautiful place to be, isn't it? Just surrendering into the I am and letting it all go. Okay, on differentiating between the mind and the heart. That's a big one. Your mind relies upon knowledge instilled within it from your parents' beliefs, your schooling, religion, peer group pressures, and interpretation of what your past experiences mean to you. It bases its reality upon survival, never quite sure if the decision it is making will result in a given set of circumstances or not. Your heart experiences no such fear. It simply knows. And when you allow it to guide you, you will find that your fears will dissolve within the encouraging arms of your heart's message. As the voice of your soul, your heart has no specific desire for you. It follows the natural tendencies with which you incarnated into your present life and acts as a translator of what is in your best interest, whether you know what that may be or not. Since most of the learning you have acquired has nothing to do with what is naturally best for you, rather expresses the interest of the person in authority over you, The results you perceive in your world rarely feel as though they are a correct fit. And I know how many of you feel that way. On experiencing freedom, if you will accept the prospect of being free from your beliefs and attachments, you will find all of your boundaries disappearing. When limitation no longer draws you, your desire to be free will also dissolve, since you will only know your own liberation. Check carefully into every aspect within you, within me, for the ideologies you are holding in place, enabling you to appear spiritual in your own eyes or within the perception of another. Each attribute binding you limits your flow. It is this feeling within you that has fostered this present question. As you diffuse the constructs of your personal attachments, you may find other humans drifting away from you. Do not fear this expression. Do not fear the experience. These people only leave your environment because they are afraid of their own freedom. Seeing it upwelling within you suggests the possibility of the same opportunity within their reality. If they're not ready to embrace their own enlightened liberty, they will head for the bounded beliefs they feel will support their limitation. You remain free within me. They will free themselves in their perfect moment within me. Do we have strong soul ties to the people we are close to in this life? From time to time, you will notice that you'll get a bit of a hit, as you call it, an expression through your intuition within me that tells you this enterprise or relationship with a person will be of benefit. Your mind begins to explain to you why you should or should not follow that course of action. The tussle between the voice of your soul through your heart and the clarion call of your mental process begins. Which one will win? Can both of them? It's up to you. If you are living within an environment where you feel you are not being served by the connections you are maintaining, realize that you are in control of how those interweavings are experienced within me. If a person is not showing his or herself to you fully and completely, ask yourself if you're letting yourself be seen. If another person is constantly rubbing you wrong, check in to see if you are not creating the same experience within them. Of course, this means you have to unveil yourself before their eyes and admit to them and yourself how much this means to you and perhaps how hard it is for you to do. If you move into this vulnerable experience with an open heart, the other person is much more likely to open his or her heart to you. You do not know what is going on within their lives behind their mask of expression. All you do know is what you are feeling when you are around them. You will not ever know the answer unless you ask the questions that will provide the answers from within a non-judgmental position within me. And know, the strong soul ties you have with people may not be what you assume them to be, based upon the beliefs or constructs you adhere to so strongly. On forgiveness. Forgiveness says, you have hurt me, betrayed me, disappointed me, and since I want to be a good person, be more spiritual, appear loving, I will forgive you. Absolution tells you there is no wrongdoing being experienced, rather that you and the other person, or you within a specific situation, are having an experience together as light within me. You are constantly in a state of transferring energy throughout your physical system, mind, emotional nature, and environment. As such, you are the center point of constant energy interchange among interactions with other people, thought patterns within yourself, the output of physical energy, and the decision-making capabilities of the conscious and the subconscious, playing out through your spiritual and emotional bodies. Within this flow, you are either releasing or holding, doing or undoing, and each result determines the outcome of your day-to-day experience. When you believe it is difficult to absolve another, you must realize that you cannot give to someone else what you do not embody within your belief system. You are as I am. So the notion that you are unable to absolve is simply a false belief within your present reality. Yet, you must first relinquish the need to hold yourself accountable for your imagined transgressions before you can allow another to experience the same within you, within me. On compassion. Remember that you cannot give someone something you do not already possess within you. This could also be phrased, you cannot give someone something that you are not aware of within you. First, you must recognize your state of awakened light within me, and then you can extend it to another. Since your underlying desire, no matter what you might believe you want, is to know your union within me, until you recognize yourself as me, you will have no space for compassion within your life. There are many different experiences available within which to learn this unique attribute of yours, and yet there is no counsel that can be learned from reading books or the teachings of others. Though often accurate, reflections of others' perceptions, books, and teachings cannot take the place of life experience and heartfelt compassion, the experience of living within the common union of your compelling feeling, and your expression as infinite emergence within me, in harmony and eternal expression. And finally, one last choice that I made on getting information from a highest point of light. Or we could say, getting information from another being who appears to be in a dimension that is better than this one. Many of you talk about other points of contact within your belief about higher light beings. Though there are many expressions in existence within all dimensional realms, very few are there to give you information or assistance in experiencing your own existence. I will ask you a question in return. Can you, outside of this linear time structure, recognize yourself as me? Remember, you are I am. There is nothing to do. It is all realization. There is no doing. It is only being. Being as I am. You are I am. That realization is the foundation of being. It is I am in which you access all help and information. And it is you. The only distraction to becoming aware of your own unlimited wealth of available advice is within your mind. There is only this awareness that you need to step into, which is your honesty. It is your integrity, you see. It is what makes you what you are, without believing that you are supposed to be anything other. The only reason you believe you need to be something else or seek a contact of light to give you instruction is because you do not own your divinity within me. When you ask for a highest contact of light to assist you or inform you, what you are really asking for is something you cannot see that is supposed to know more than you do within me. What or who do you believe that would be, since you have absolute access to all that I am? Thank you for sharing these beautiful words with me today. And I so look forward to discussing my new book, Divining Truth, with you after you've had an opportunity to read it.